My name is Danielle.
My name is Cassidy.
We love you, Glamour!
Oh, I love you too, Glamour girls. Hi everyone, Glamour here with Made with Love by Glamour, where everything here is always made and taught by me with love. Today we're going to be making something that's been requested. I'm gonna try to make my version of Mary Jane slippers. And you know what? Normally when I make slippers or socks, I usually make one just to test out my theory of a pattern. But this time I haven't even done that. So I'm going to be making up the pattern on the fly. So I hope you guys are okay with that. So it might change up here and there throughout the filming of this. But I usually by Sunday I have an idea what I'm going to be filming. But as many of you know, I did my first Google Plus Hangouts live chat, Q&A live chat yesterday, and so I was really nervous about that. So I think I decided to do it on Saturday, and so Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning, I was super nervous. So I didn't put as much thought into today's tutorial as I normally do, but then I thought, wait a minute, people have been asking me for Mary Jane slippers, and so I'm going to make my version of Mary Jane slippers, and I might I might go online and look at pictures of some just so I can, make sure that I'm making them look like Mary Jane slippers. But I'm going to start it off kind of like that puckerless slipper that I have in my tutorials, but I'm going to make it puckerless, but I'm going to make this one without a seam on the bottom. So, and I also want to redo that puckerless slipper for it to not have a seam on the bottom too. So I might make another tutorial about that later on. But anyway, this one is going to be a Mary Jane slipper. Woohoo! But anyway, I also want to thank all you ladies that joined me in the live chat yesterday. Y'all made it so much fun. I laughed so much, I giggled so much, because y'all just made me happy. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you know what you need to get started for this. Yarn, a J-hook, 6.0 millimeter, a pair of scissors, a tapestry needle, and 2 markers. Okay, so to get started, we're going to start with the magic ring, but before I do that, I wanted to explain something that in any of y'all that watched that puckerless slipper tutorial that I made, I'm going to go ahead and follow that same pattern for this, the exact same number of stitches into the magic ring and everything, because a lot of people ask me for like size 6, 7, or 8, and that slipper that I made in that puckerless tutorial, I said was for like a size 5 because it fit me. But it was a little loose even after wearing them the first time, or even while wearing them the first time. They were a little loose, so I probably should have said they were more like a 5.5 or a 6. So then after I wore them 2 or 3 times, they're actually more for like a size 7.5 or so, 7.5, 8. Because they're really loose on me now. They're always falling off of me. So I need to make myself smaller ones, but I'm going to go ahead and still use that same pattern for like a 7.5 or a 8, because it seems like the average person is 7.5 or 8. So I'm going to make these for my daughter. So okay, let's go ahead and get started the exact same way we started the puckerless slipper. Let's leave a little tail so that we can weave that in later. And for anyone that doesn't know how to make a magic ring, just make a little loop. Put this yarn coming from your skein back there. Lift it up with your hook, and see, with my finger right here, I'm going to lift up on that yarn coming from the skein, and I'm going to yarn over with it, and I'm going to go right through that little loop, okay? And I'm going to pull this a little bit tighter so it's easier to work with. Okay, So now let's make a, you know what, normally you don't count that as a stitch, but I'm going to count that little stitch right there. I'm going to count it as a stitch, okay, because I'm not going to make these with a seam on the bottom like I did on the puckerless slippers. I'm going to make these in a spiral so that there's no seam whatsoever. So when I do this first row, I'm going to do a gradual incline. I'm going to keep that stitch, and then I'll do a slip stitch, and then I'll do a single crochet, and then a half double crochet, and then I'll do half double crochets till I get all the way around here. And then when I get ready to do my second row, because we used that little short stitch as a stitch, you're not going to hardly see where row 1 starts and row 2 begins. So get one of your markers, and so you remember that we're going to use this little stitch right there. Go ahead and put a marker on it so that we know where we're going to, when we stitch back into that, we'll know that that's the end of row 1 and the beginning of row 2. Okay, so now, okay, what did I say we were going to do? Oh yeah, we're going to make a slip stitch now. Whoops, hit the camera. Okay, so here's my slip stitch. Here's my, I don't need to do that. Here's my single crochet. I keep wanting to jump into half double crochets already. Because like I said, I'm kind of making this pattern up on the fly, and I just now thought to tell you that we should do that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, what was that, a single? Now we can start with our half double crochets. See, and you see that nice gradual incline, short, short, getting taller, getting taller. So when we get back around, you're barely even going to notice where our first stitch even was, okay? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and just keep doing this till you get to the marker, and then I will meet you back there. Alrighty, guys. Okay, so I have 12 half double crochets, and now I'm going to pull this slightly tighter. Not too tight, because I still need to get into that stitch, and that's going to be kind of a tight one to get into. Okay, so we have 12, and now we're going to take our stitch marker out, and we're going to put 2 into that stitch, okay? Because that's going to be our this is going to be our increase row. Oh, and if you do have a row counter, go ahead and this was row 1, so make sure that you clicked it for row 1, and now click it again for row 2. Okay? Alrighty. So let's put 2 half double crochets right there into that stitch. I hope I'm in the shot. I try to look under the camera because the camera is right in my face, so I try to look under it, so because I do that, I can't see what's actually in what's in the shot. Oh, I just fell apart. Okay, let's do that again then. Okay, so there's one, and there's our second one. Okay, and we're just going to do that all the way around. And oh, you know what? That was our second one, wasn't it? So let's put a stitch marker right there in that first one so that we know when to when the second row ends, okay? Because when we get here and stitch into that, that's going to be our third row. So okay, guys, I'll do one more with you, and then I'll let you have at it. Let's see. Yeah, right there. 2 into here. And 2 in all the rest. Okay, so I'll meet you back here when you get over here to the marker, and when you get there, when you get right there to the stitch right before the marker, you should have 24 stitches, okay? Okay, so I'm at 20 half double crochets for row 2, and I thought I'd finish with you. 21 and 22 and 23 and our last one, 24. Yay, Grandma knows how to count. Okay, now there's our stitch marker, so now we're going to take that out, and we are not going, to make increases, I don't believe, for this row. You know what? Let me check my notes. Hold on a second. Okay, so I should have just trusted my gut because I was right. We're only going to put one stitch into each stitch from here on out. Put 1 half double crochet into that stitch, and then we're going to put our marker back. Okay. And then we're going to just put 1 half double crochet into each of the stitch till we get around. Okay. Alrighty, I'll meet you back here at the end of this row. Okay, so here I am at the end of my row 3, and there really isn't any further instruction until I'm going to put my foot up on the table again, guys. Pardon me, but I do have socks on this time. Oh, hey, my daughter just made me these tie-dye socks. She's going tie-dye crazy. So she says, hey, Mom, do you have a pair of white socks that you don't care about? And I'm like, sure. So look, she just made me some tie-dye socks, so I'm wearing them. And I have a tie-dye shirt on. You know what? I'll get the camera off of here in a minute, and I'll show you my tie-dye tank top that she made me. Okay, so what I was going to say is just keep making one, where's my foot? Just keep making 1 half double crochet into the stitches until, I'm not sure exactly where Mary Jane slippers are supposed to fit, if maybe there. If you get to there and that's where you want yours to start, and then we would make a strap. I think I might go to like maybe I will stop there because that looks like that would be cute. When you've got yours about there, or wherever you want yours to reach, but don't forget we have to leave room for a strap because I'm gonna make it so that we have a strap. So that would look cute about here, and then maybe that much skin showing. So I think I might stop about there, and I don't know how many rows that is, so I'll let you know here in a minute. Okay, so I'm gonna take the camera off the tripod so you can see the tie-dye shirt that my daughter made me. Okay, so here's the tie-dye shirt that my daughter made me. It's a tank top, and so it matches my socks. Woohoo! I match. Yeah, so she's getting really, really good at it. All right, guys. Okay, so I did 10 rows, and this is where it fits on my foot. See, and even that's kind of loose, even though I have socks on. So this is like for a size 6, 7, 7.5. Just talking to myself, sorry. So yeah, I made 10 rows, and I think I'm gonna stop there because I'm probably gonna put a little either slip stitch edging all around or a single crochet, so it's still going to come up a little higher when I finish the edging later. So here's the bend of my foot, so that's probably where I'm going to put a strap. So yeah, I think I want about that much skin showing. So yeah, so those of y'all who are following my pattern, I'm going to stop here at 10 rows. If you want yours higher, go higher. If you want yours lower, go lower. So anyway, now what we're going to do, because that's where I want mine to go to, the 10 rows, y'all can, like I said, make it as high up on your foot or as low on your foot as you want. So anyway, I'm going to take the stitch marker out, and that's the last half double crochet that I'm going to make right now, and I want it to be a gradual decline, so it's not just, see how it's just an abrupt boom, it's like a little cliff. I don't want a cliff. So I'm going to make a single crochet, and then I'm going to make a slip stitch. Okay. So go ahead and put a marker. You don't need to put a marker there if you're going to do the same thing I am. But you'll know that that's where you started. And then decide how wide you want your opening to be. I'm thinking, I've never worn Mary Jane shoes or anything, so I don't know. I'm thinking that would look kind of cute. This is going to be the last stitch that I stitch into, and that'll be the first stitch. So in between, I'm leaving 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stitches. So y'all do however you want, but that's how I'm going to do it. And turn your slipper inside out, and let's go ahead and let's stitch that closed real quick before our slipper gets too much longer, and then we have to stretch it while we're trying to do it. Okay, so thread your tapestry needle and pull it as closed as you want it. Okay, and I'm just going to show you how I do it. the thread's coming from, it's coming from this way, so I'm gonna go this way and make a teeny knot. Hope I'm in the shot. Okay, so tug on that a little bit, and I think I'll do it again. Yeah. Okay, and now I'm going to secure it even further, and I'm going to go through the top layer here and just scoot on down. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it about here, and then when you stretch it out, it kind of hides in there. Ta-da! I'm sure everybody does it like that, but for any new ones who don't know how to weave in your tails, that's how I do it. Alrighty, I'm gonna chain one, and I'm gonna put my stitch marker on that chain one, because that's gonna be my last stitch. And then we're gonna turn our work around, and we're gonna go into the next stitch, and we're just going to single crochet all the way over here. So don't forget, you know, when we come back, we're going to stitch onto the top of that chain one. That's not our last stitch, this one is. At least for me it is. That's how I find that my work stays straight. So let me just do this row with you. I don't even know if I'm in the shot. Yeah, I am. Whoops. Okay, so that's where I decided that I wanted my last stitch to be. Now I'm going to chain one, and I'm going to move that marker onto the chain one so that I remember where to stitch. Whoops. I was looking at the screen instead of my hands, and I didn't know what I was doing. And so zero out your row counter as well, and that was row one. Now on your clicker, this is row two. So don't forget to do that. Okay, so now let's turn our work around and work our way back to where we started. And I'll show you how to chain on top of that chain one, because it is really hard to find that stitch, and it's hard to get into it too, because it's not your regular looking V stitch, you know. It's the chain one, and so it's not your typical looking stitch that we're used to. But if you don't stitch into it, your work angle's weird. At least mine does. Okay, so initially I used to think that was my last stitch. And that's why my work was always coming out weird, coming out like that, way over there. Okay, so now take out your stitch marker out of that chain one spot. And I know it doesn't look like a stitch, but it is. Go into there. And I promise you it's going to come out straight. If you're doing exactly what I'm doing. Chain one. Put your stitch marker back on the chain one. Okay. And now turn your work around and go to the other side and do the exact same thing. Go all the way, make single crochets all the way around, and then there's the top of the chain one. You're going to get into that stitch, and then you're going to go back and forth until it reaches the back of your foot. So I'll meet y'all back when you're at the heel of your foot. Alrighty guys, see you in a minute. Okay, so this is what it's looking like so far. This is what it looks like when it's opened. Doesn't look like it should be a slipper, does it? Alright, so I have 19 rows, but let me say something. I'm going to go ahead and make them for me. That's why I only have 19. If you're going to make them for the 6 or up to 7.5, then I would probably go one more row, or maybe 2. The reason I'm making them for my size after all is because I told my daughter, hey, look, I'm making you some Mary Jane slippers. And she says, Mom, thank you, but I don't think I'll wear them because I discovered that I don't like my feet covered. Especially now that it's getting warmer, but I think she's going to want them in the winter time. But anyway, so I said, well, okay, I don't want to just make them for nothing. So I stopped at 19, but y'all might want to go another row or 2, okay? So you're at the point where you want yours to be. Well, I guess I didn't even need to say that because I told y'all to measure this all the way till it measured your foot. So I guess I didn't need to go into all that detail. So anyway, what I want you to do now is fold your slipper in half like this. Oh wait, you know what? I'm sorry. Turn it inside out first so that our stitch is on the inside. Okay, so now fold your slipper in half, come over here, and I don't like to cut my yarn and then reinsert yarn to do things, so I just slip stitch my way down to places because I don't like making a bunch of knots and stuff. Okay, so what I'm going to do now that we have our center, go ahead and put a stitch marker over here in the center. See, there's one stitch there and there's one stitch on either side of it. So I'm probably going, whoops, I'm probably going to go all the way down to there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I don't like to, most people would probably finish off there and then insert a new piece of yarn and sew the back up, but I don't like to do that. I don't like to have a bunch of knots and stuff. So what I'm going to do is turn my work. Well, I'm gonna, should I chain one? Maybe I will. Yeah, maybe I'll chain one. Okay, and now I'm going to slip stitch my way down to that marker. You're probably thinking I'm crazy right now. It's because I want to end up down here, so that when I end up down there, I'm going to close this, and since I'll be down there, now I can close it going up, and I'll show you why I want it that way at the top. Okay, so slip stitch your way down if you're following me. If you're a seasoned crocheter, you can do it however you'd like. Well, you know, I never expected this. This is actually a pretty cool tutorial because you get to see the process of how I design patterns. Some people ask me, how do you come up with your designs? Well, as you saw, that's how I came up with it. I had an idea, and of course I had to test it out because I don't know if what I'm seeing in my head is really going to work. So you kind of witnessed me designing a Mary Jane slipper. Okay, so I stitched my slip stitch into there where the stitch marker was. And now what I'm going to do is fold it in half. And I'm going to stitch my way up. Whoa, oh, sorry. Probably getting y'all seasick. Okay. But let me see, how do I want to do it? Yeah, that's good. Okay, duh. I'm confusing myself. See, I told you I'm in the midst of just trying to figure out how to make this thing. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because I don't want it to be too thick, I'm going to take the inside V. See the inside V? There's the outer V and the inside loop of the V. I call them V's. I'm going to take the inside one and the inside one from this side, and I'm going to slip stitch my way up instead of single crochet or anything. Come on, where are you? There you are. You know, that's, I actually hate slip stitches because they're hard to get into. But I think I hate cutting and starting new yarn more than I hate this. So I put up with it. Alright, so go ahead and do this and grab the inner V of the next stitch and the inner V of the other stitch and stitch your way up. Okay, and then meet me when you get to the top. Turn our slipper back to the right side. Okay, so there's my little slipper so far. Even that's kind of a cute slipper, isn't it? And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change colors. And let me see how I'm going to do this. I'm going to go into the next stitch, but rather than picking this color up, I'm going to drop it. And I think I'll use this. Yeah, my favorite color. And I'll use that to bring it up. Okay, and now what I'm going to do, go ahead and cut your green or whatever color you're making, and then I'm going to tie the two tails together. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so I cut my green tail, and here's my pink one, and I'm just going to, I'm going to keep the hook in there so I don't accidentally pull too tight and take out the stitch. I'm just going to make a little knot, square knot, maybe one more. Okay, and now I'm going to incorporate those tails as I go around here. I'm going to make the trim now. I think, should I make it in single crochet or half double crochet? I think, let me look at what a single crochet is going to look like. Oh, you know what, I got chain one, don't I? Chain one. Oops. And now let me see what this is going to look like. See if it's a thick enough border that I want. I might want a single crochet. Let me see. So there, let me do a couple more so I can see what it looks like. I'm sorry guys. You probably prefer when I just have my design all set and ready and you just follow and that's it. So forgive me. No mean hate mail, please. Okay, so that's what a single crochet looks if you want to use a single crochet. Now I want to see what a half double crochet looks like. So I chained one, but now I'm going to chain a second one, and I'm going to wrap my yarn around and make half double crochets and see which one I like better. Got a feeling I'm going to like the half double. It looked a little too skimpy, not skimpy, what's the word I'm trying to, just not enough. Yeah, maybe that's too much though, huh? Let me see. I don't know. Let me just do a couple more. Well, at least I'm giving you guys options, right? You know what? I think I do like that. I'm going to keep doing half double crochet, so y'all keep doing that too if you're following me. And I'm going to get a different color marker so I can see it. And I'm going to put it on top of that chain 2 so that I know where to slip stitch. Okay, so just keep doing this, making half double crochets or single crochets or whatever you're doing all the way around your slipper, and meet me back here. Okay, so here I am nearing the end. Whoops, I need to yarn over. It's noisy now because I opened up the window because it's hot in here, because I've got the photography light on my hands and light makes me hot. I probably don't need it now because it got so bright in here. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to join right there. We're going to join with a slip stitch where the marker is. Okay, now chain 1 and cut your thread because we're done. And then when you cut your thread, I already did, just pull it through and then snug down that little knot and then weave your tail in, and then I put a mark there because I'll show you why. I'm going to try it on. Because that's where I think I'm going to put my strap. Oh, you can see sock marks. How pretty. Okay, so I think that's where I want it. Yeah, I'll leave it there. So decide where you are going to want your strap and put a stitch marker there if you want. and weave your tail in, and then meet me back here so we can get ready to do the strap. Okay, the lighting looks different because I turned off the photography lamp or photography light because it's really hot in here, and it got bright because the sun's shining in here. Now I look blue. Alright, so take color A, what we used for the major part of the slipper, and wherever it is that you decided to put your strap, just go ahead and put your hook in there and join your new color. There's lots of different ways to join a new color, so whatever technique you like, go ahead and do that. Okay. And I think I'll drop that one now, drop that tail. And now we're just going to make chains. We're probably both going to need different amounts of chains, so I'm not sure how many you'll need. You'll need enough chains to go all the, you'll have to try your slipper on, and you'll need enough chains to go all the way over your foot, and then to like loop around right here. So there's going to be a flower there, so you're going to loop around there. I just decided I'm going to put a flower there. Y'all didn't know that. Well, you knew it because you saw the thumbnail, but if you were watching this live, you wouldn't have known that. So anyway, make your chain long enough to loop around the flower and then back to here, okay? And meet me back there. So I don't know how long your chain's going to be, but so I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so this is 42. For my foot, I used 42. And so now what you want to do is straighten out your chain, make sure it doesn't get twisted. And then we want to come back over here, and we're going to join it right where the stitch marker is, okay? So go ahead and just slip stitch into there. And maybe I should put the tail in there too so it reinforces that tail. Okay, I know I was out of shot, but I wasn't really doing anything. Alright, so let's take the marker out. That might help me. Okay, so there I am, and I'm going to try to incorporate the tail in here so that, or not, where is it? There it is. Yeah. Okay, so now just slip stitch that chain into the same place where the chain began. Yeah, I was having a hard time. Okay, come on, go through there. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so now that's connected, and now go ahead and make another chain, and now you can pull that through, cut your thread and pull it through, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I threaded my needle because I'm going to hide the tails. I'm going to try to figure out how to hide the tails. I don't want to hide it right here because the pink and the green will show. Oh, I know what I'll do. I'll tuck it back. Let me see. Yeah, I'll tuck it back into here, go under the pink. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'm incorporating the tail from when we first began the chain and the tail that we ended the chain with. Okay, and now I think I'll hide it under here. No, you know what I want to do? I think I want to go through this green one, because if I go like that, because I always go that way and then I always come back, so you'll see that green when I come back. So I'm going to go a little bit further down. Yeah, it's hard working with two tails, especially when one's a lot shorter. Come on, there we go. Okay, now it's all twisted. Okay. So now that you're in where the green is, go ahead and just weave your tail wherever you can find a place to weave it. Okay. Okay, so the slipper part of the tutorial is finished, and I had not planned on making this next part of the tutorial because I really hadn't planned anything because I didn't know what I was going to do, what design I was going to end up with. So I know that I already have this tutorial in my channel, but rather than going and attaching that in here, I'm just going to go ahead and show you how to make the flower, okay? Okay, so I kind of took care of the lighting a little bit. I still have the big photography light, but I blocked the window so not as much daylight comes in. So okay, leave yourself a generous tail here because we'll use that tail to sew in our flower. I know it gets in the way though. And let's chain 6, make your slip knot, and then chain 6. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. And now we're going to join and make a ring by going into that very first chain, slip stitching the ring closed. Excuse me. And now we're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Since making that other flower tutorial on my channel, I've changed it up a little bit. So chain 3 right now, and then, oh yeah, just single crochet into the ring, and now chain 2, and now single crochet into the ring, and do this until you have 7 loops. Okay, there's 1 loop, there's 2 loops. Okay, we need 7. We need 8, but meet me back here when you have 7. Okay, so I have my 7 loops, and now we're going to chain 2, and we're going to make our 8th loop by joining at that very first chain. Okay, slip stitching into that first chain, and now we're going to chain 1. Okay, and we've got our 8 loops, and you can make all 8 petals if you want, but I'm only going to make 5. So I'm going to go into that very first loop and make a single crochet, and then I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to make 2 double crochets into here, the same space. Okay, there's the second one. Chain 1 now, and then go back into that space with a single crochet. And like I said, I'm not going to make all 8 petals. If you are, then go into that loop and do the same thing you just did there, but I'm going to skip it and go into the next one, the single crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochets, chain 1, single crochet. If I'm going too fast, just go ahead and keep rewinding it. I'm going kind of fast because I already have this tutorial on my channel. Okay, so 1, and then I skipped that, and then there. And now since I skipped that one, I'm going to use this loop. Let me see if I can find it. It's pretty tight in there. Oh, there it is. I think that's it. Yeah, right there. It's hard to see. Okay, so I'm going to use that one. So I'm going to make a single crochet into there. And then I'm going to chain 1, and then I'm going to make 2 double crochets into that. This is always my go-to flower because I love it. I love it so much. I love this 3-layer flower. Chain 1, go back in for a single crochet. I might not make all 3 petals, all 3 layers though, because this is a little slipper. Okay. 1, skip that one. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to skip this loop now and go into the next space with a single crochet. Now a chain 1, and now 2 double crochets. There's 1. Here's my second. Chain 1, and now go back in with a single. And there's 4 petals. And now, let me see, I gotta scoot this over because it looks like there's not a loop there, but there is. So I almost missed it. Okay, I'm gonna skip that one and go into the very last one. Okay, make a single crochet, chain 1, 2 double crochets, now a chain 1, and then back down for a single, and now chain 1, and we're going to turn our work around. That's kind of cute. You might want to leave it at that. If you do, you're done. Just sew it on. If not, continue on with me and turn your work around. So we're going to go under the post, yarn over, pick up a loop, and make a slip stitch. Okay, I don't know if I was in the shot, guys, I'm sorry. It's hard to do slip stitches. I always go like that and get out of shot, but y'all know how to make a slip stitch. Okay, most of y'all anyway. I think I've shown you already in this tutorial. So now I'm trying to think. We're going to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to yarn over, and we're going to have to go find all those hidden posts that we skipped. See, there's one there and there's one there. So I'm going to go under that one. I yarned over because we're going to make double crochets. Pull up a loop, go through all your strands. Oh, I did. And then go through 2 more, and then chain. How many do I want to chain? 3. There's 1, 2, and there's 3. And now we're going to make another double crochet under the post that's trying to hide right there, but I found you. Okay. And then chain 3, 2, 3. And do that all the way around. Find all the hidden posts. Oops. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and find all the posts and do the same thing that I'm doing. Double crochet under it and then chain 3, and then I'll meet you back here when you get to the end. Okay, so I said go find all the posts and I'll meet you at the end, but I didn't tell you how many loops you were supposed to have at the end. You were supposed to have 7. So I came back early. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now I'm going to make my 7th one. Right? Yeah. Oh no, I'm going to chain 3 first. 1, 2, and 3. And now I'm going to make a double crochet into the very last post. And now I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to join right here at the, which one? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to join, I think, at the second one. Do I want to join at the second? Yeah, I'll join at the second one, I think, with a slip stitch. Ay, 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 I'm always out of shot. Okay, and then chain 1. I'm out of shot again. Sorry, guys. Ugh. Okay, now we're going to turn our work around and we're going to work on the front side. I'm just going to keep my hands down here. You can see, right? Okay, so that way I don't keep getting out of shot. Okay, so now we're going to go into that first loop with a single crochet. And then we're going to chain 1. And we're going to do the same thing we did for these petals, only we're going to make 3 double crochets this time, if you're continuing on to make the second layer. So here's 1. And 2. And the third one. And after the third one, always chain 1. So after the second one, we always chained 1. Now after the third one, we always chain 1. And then we go back in with a single crochet. Okay, so that's how you make the second layer petal. So just do that to all the loops back here, all the loop-de-loops. Okay, all right, meet you in a minute. Okay, so I'm done with my second layer, and I'm thinking it's already getting kind of big. So I don't know if you think that's too big for your slipper. You can stop there, or I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go on just to see what it looks like, and if I do, if I do keep it, I'm gonna put the circle, the ring that we made way up here and sew it right up there so that it looks, so that it's kind of like on your ankle too. So I think I might try a third layer. Okay, so those of y'all that want to try the third layer, we're going to do pretty much the same thing we did for the second layer, but instead of chaining 3 double crochets, we're going to make 4 double crochets. Okay, so let's, do I want to chain 1? I forgot if I chain 1 or not. Yeah, just turn your work around, go under the post, and make a slip stitch. Okay, and then chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. No, actually we have to chain 5 on that one. 4, 5. I knew something was wrong because that's the very first one that we're going to come connect to. Sorry guys, I'm getting flustered because it's hot in here. Okay, yarn over, and let's go under the next post and make a double crochet, and then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then double crochet under all the posts. Okay, and then meet me back here and we'll continue on. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I have my 7 loops, and then I chained 3, and now I'm going to slip stitch into the 1, 2, 3. Why do I always struggle with that? Because I actually think I'm doing it wrong. I think I should be going into the 3rd. Nah, I like it at the 2nd. So I'm going to slip stitch into the 2nd. Like I said, I'm always changing stuff. Okay, and now we're going to chain 1. Turn our work back to the pretty side, the front, and we're going to single crochet, and we're going to chain 1, and we're going to make 4 double crochets. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then chain 1, and then back in for a single crochet. Okay, just do that to all the little loopies. Alright, see you in a minute. Okay, so it's a big flower, huh? I'm done with my 3rd layer. And let me see, my yarn was caught. Okay, so we're done. And now to finish it off, I did my single crochet. To finish it off, I'm going to find a spot over here and make a slip stitch. Just find yourself a good spot. Wow, I stayed in the camera on a slip stitch. I'm proud of myself. Okay, now chain 1 and cut your thread. Not thread, cut your yarn. Leave yourself enough room to weave in, and now snug down that little loop, and you're finished. And now, let me see, where is my, okay, rather than struggle, I'll just do this. Okay, so now just weave in your, oh, am I in the shot? Weave in your tails, wherever, however you do your weaving. I'm just going right underneath the top layer of this. Okay, working my way in. Oops, go underneath. And I think I'll go under one more petal just to be safe. Don't want anything unraveling. Alrighty. Getting there. Come on. There we go. Alright. And now, y'all know me, I like to reinforce. So I'm going to go back the other way now. Paris, are you trying to knock my iPad down? Okay, and you can go back as far as you want. I think I'm just going to stop there because I just don't feel like doing it anymore because I'm hot. I'm cranky, huh? I've been cranky during this tutorial. Alright, so now, since it's already a long tutorial anyway, I might as well make it mega long and show you how I'm going to sew my flower on. Okay, because this is how I sew all my 3-layered flowers on. So just in case you ever make this flower for anything else. Okay, let me determine where I want it. Okay, there's that. And I want it to go like that. About there. So I'll put the flower. I'm going to go as high. See that circle where, whoops, no you don't. See that circle that we initially made, that first ring? I'm gonna put the top part right there to the top of the slipper. See, that way it doesn't, well, I'm thinking that way it doesn't, it's so big that it might drag on the floor once your foot's in there. So I'm trying to get it up as high as I can. Okay, and now that I've got it where it's about as high as I can get it, I'm gonna go to the top here, right there, and I'm gonna go through the, see, right through the center of the flower. I'm gonna go back in, and then I'm going to come back over here. That reinforces that right there. And now I'm gonna come back out, and I'm just gonna do this over and over till I feel that it's secure. Okay, and now I'm not even gonna go, you know, back and forth like this, because I just wanted to see where I was going over here. But now I'm just gonna stay in the front, and I'm gonna feel my way around to where I want to put the next stitch. Yeah, that'll work. And then see, so it's perfect to use that little ring because there's already threads going that way, so it's perfect to hide the thread that you're sewing it on with right into that, and it's not even visible that that's what you're doing. That's my secret. And then if you want, if it's not fancy enough yet, you can put a button right in there. But I think it's fancy enough for me. I like simplistic. Okay, so you get the idea, right? Just keep doing this. I probably don't need to stay on. Oh well, I'm almost done. It's already a mega long tutorial anyway. What's it gonna hurt, right? Hopefully I'm in the shot, or else all this time is wasted if you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, a couple more times, because we started over here. I at least want to make my way back over here to make sure it's all secure. Wait, I don't want to go there yet. I want to go, did I already come out through there once? Yeah, I did. Okay, going through there. One more time for good measure. Right there. Okay, now let's go to the inside. That's my Facebook. Somebody's wanting me to approve a post, or somebody left a comment. So just go in here somewhere and weave in your ends. You saw how I weave things in. I just go this way and then I go back, and then you can cut it. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, I finished and I sewed it on, and I have it on. There's my Mary Jane slipper. It is a big flower, but I like it. It's pretty. So I'm kind of glad I did that. What I might go back and do though is maybe shorten this chain because it's a little loose. So let me get my foot down and show you what it looks like from this side. There, see? So it kind of comes at a V, and then it widens out up here and goes around your flower. Yay! I hope you liked this tutorial. Oh, these are so cute. I want to make the second one in a hurry so I can wear them. Alright guys, let me say goodbye. Okay, I took it off. I love these. I'm gonna have to make different colors. Alright guys, thank you for joining me here at Made with Love by Grandma, where everything here is always made with love. Just like I told y'all in the live chat. Always made with love. So don't forget to give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share this with all your crochet friends, or the friends that want to learn how to crochet. I've got beginner lessons on here, 1 to 6. Alrighty guys, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Thank you for watching our Glamos channel.